Database schema corruption during an upgrade. Normally, upgrading the Supportworks server to 7.6.2 is a smooth process. Several customers have been able to upgrade without any issues whatsoever. There's just been one or two occurrences of database schema corruption while doing an upgrade to 7.6.2. This happened because interactive SQL was still being accessed, or the database schema editor was still being used. Before you begin an upgrade, it's important to ensure that all the services on the Supportworks server configuration have been stopped, and some services which are not listed on the server configuration panel, such as the SWSQL server service and the HTTP server service, have been stopped. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'll leave that one running, so we look at the effects on the database schema editor. I had a case where an upgrade was being done while the schema editor was open. This resulted in corruption of tables such as config item I and config rel I and config realm I. In config item I, we found that the primary key, which is normally supposed to auto-increment, was set to not auto-increment. Same thing for the config rel I table and the config realm I table, which control the services and the configuration items. The impact of that schema corruption was that the customer was unable to create services. If, for example, we restart the services and log into the client and go to the services function, try and create a new service, we may be able to add the second service, but we struggled to add the third service. Although we were able to add service 2, we are unable to add a third service because the system thinks that there's no need to increment the primary key. So it wasn't incrementing the primary key in the background. So we're stuck with the same number of services that we had originally. We got error messages such as this. And the service could not be created. In order to resolve this issue, you'd have to resort to the out-of-box database schema. So in my case, I'll have to import the out-of-box database schema from the desktop. And when it comes to this part, all I'd have to do is say merge the specification with the database, merge the database specification, give priority to the specification in the XML file, and just click on yes to everything. And your new XML database schema should be imported into the schema editor. Thereafter, you'd have to apply the specification to the physical database and allow for type changes. In order for Supportworks to pick up the new specification, it's always good practice to restart the SQL server service. That should in turn restart all the other services because of dependencies. Once you've done that, you should be able to log into the client and in theory you should be able to create a service this time. I need to fill in all the mandatory fields. And that is service category, operational, and I've been able to add service 5.